Hello fellow YouTubers and welcome back to ReeYees Retro Toys. On today's episode I'm going to give you a vintage toy collection update. This is going to be the 5th installment of this series. I've been to a couple of different places other than D&E that you saw in the last episode. I've been to a toy show up in Ohio called Toyhio. My buddy Rick puts on that show, so I found some great things there. And then my daughter and I have been hitting up the flea markets nearly every weekend. So I've come back with some vintage toy goodness from those as well. So, without further ado, I give you the Vintage Toy Collection Update number 5. Okay, so first up are my toy finds that I picked up at the Toyhio Toy Show in Girard, Ohio. First, I found this vintage solid dome R2-D2 figure. This is from the original 77-78 Star Wars release. His head still clicks, you can hear. And you may be wondering why I bought him. It turns out that my R2-D2 that I have in my collection has a reproduction sticker on it. And I did not want that. So I was always looking for a decent shape, original solid dome R2-D2 figure to pick up to replace my one with the Repro sticker. So the Repro sticker one I'll probably just throw in the back of my Y-Wing so I have a droid in it. But so now I have a true, original, authentic R2-D2. Then to add to my carded Return of the Jedi collection, I found this 79 back Logray Ewok figure.
Biker Scout reports all's quiet at the security shield. That shield and guard's gotta go! I'll cause a diversion!
Han Solo, new Chief Chirpa, Logray, and Biker Scout, each sold separately from Star Wars Revenge of the Jedi collection.
Yaha! Why, you little Ewok. Now's our chance, Logray! Let's go! Let the rock roll! Direct hit! That's what happens when their guard lets them down.
Han Solo, new Chief Chirpa, Biker Scout, and Logray action figures, each sold separately from Star Wars Revenge of the Jedi collection, from Kenner.
As you can see, it has the Anakin offer on it. Much like a lot of the Return of the Jedi bubbles, it is obviously yellowed, but it's not cracked or really dented in at all. And the card is in pretty good shape for being, you know, I don't know, what, 35 years old or so, or more. There's the back of the card. You can see it's a 79 back with the Anakin offer on it. I did not have this, and I'm really trying to focus and collect the Return of the Jedi carded because that's my favorite film. So that's my initial goal for collecting Return of the Jedi carded figures, is to get all the figures that were released for Return of the Jedi on the card. So this adds to that collection. Then I found this sealed Episode 1 Flash Speeder from 1999. Hasbro, of course. If you've seen my channel, you know I'm nostalgic for Episode 1, because I remember waiting in line to buy tickets, and I saw it 3 times opening day. Yeah, it's not the best in the franchise, but it was quite the phenomenon when it came back in 1999. So I found this for $10 to add to the Episode 1 collection. I didn't buy these back in the day, I only bought the figures. So when I find them cheap with the box, especially sealed, I always try to pick them up. So I got this Flash Speeder. Then I found this great Kia Mole figure. This is from the animated Droids cartoon line of figures that was released in 1985 alongside the Ewoks figures. I've been looking for her to add to my Droids collection, and she's in really good shape. She does not have the nose rub that plagues many of these figures. She always gets kind of a chip right on the tip of her nose. Due to even in the package, sometimes you see her with the nose rub. And I also have her original blaster, which is very similar to the Squid Head blaster that came packaged with the Return of the Jedi figure Squid Head. So I found her to add to my Droids collection, and she is a beaut, about near mint condition. Then the final item I found at Toyhio was this vintage Ninja Turtle sleeping bag. This is from 1988, and it features more of the comic book style artwork that was on many of the early merchandising pieces of the Ninja Turtles, because they really didn't know how they were going to look in the cartoon yet when they were making this stuff. I bought this because this is the exact sleeping bag I had as a child. Back when I was like 9 years old, my parents bought me this same sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag. Foot cruiser. That box there.
So lots of warm, fuzzy, nostalgic feels in this piece. So now I'm going to move on to the items that I picked up at the flea market. I found this 1984 Hulk Hogan Bendies figure. This is of course by LJN, the same people that did the big rubber figures back in the day.
Now you can make World Wrestling Federation superstars twist, turn, do things they never thought they could do. Camel Clutch, the Iron Sheik can do that. Clothesline, Hulk Hogan can do that. Collect all the World Wrestling Federation superstar Bendies, each sold separately from LJN.
He has kind of, some hair loss, paint wear on the back of his head, but other than that, he's in pretty decent shape. This is the more common red knee pad version. I guess there's a rarer version with blue knee pads as well, so I'll be on the lookout for him. And I found this knockoff Hulk Hogan thumb wrestler. I don't see any dates on him, so I'm assuming with the lot that I picked it up with, it's probably 80s. But this is one of those, knockoff thumb wrestlers that they made back in the day that looked like popular wrestlers of the time. And this is the Hulk Hogan one. Then I found a lot of WCW Galoob figures, and they are in fantastic condition. This is Scott Steiner of the Steiner Brothers tag team, and Rick Steiner, the dog-faced gremlin. You can see his tattoo is even really nice on him. Of course, these are the normal American releases. Galoob also released several of these wrestlers overseas in the UK with different paint schemes. And then I got the Barry Windham figure as well, who is pretty flawless. There's hardly any paint wear on him at all. And I bought these to upgrade my collection, actually. I've had these in my collections probably since I was 13 or 14 years old. But the ones I have are kind of rough. So once I saw these there for $3 a piece, I was like, well, I might as well buy these and upgrade. So that's why I picked these guys up. And I'm always on the lookout for cheap 80s cartoons on VHS. And so I found the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special by Filmation on VHS. There's the actual VHS itself. I think I might have got this for like 50 cents or something like that, so I'll add this to my holiday viewing this year. And I don't really collect a lot of superhero things, superhero items. I just never got into superheroes for some reason, other than Batman. And personally, I consider Ninja Turtles superheroes as well. Just more modern superheroes, not the classic, iconic ones. But I did buy these guys, and I got them pretty cheap. These are the Commando Penguins from Batman Returns.
My dear Penguin Commandos, the time has come to punish Batman! Batman?
Deep dive Batman surfaces.
Fire!
Tearing into battle, Batman blasts his torpedo.
Penguins all wet.
Gotham City's greatest hero, Batman Returns.
If you recall from the film, the Tim Burton film, these were the penguins that, attacked the city with missiles and things like that. And I think they're pretty much near complete. This one I think may have come with 2 missiles, but it only has 1. And they're in really good shape. These aren't rare or anything like that, but, I'm a Batman fan, and I figured I'd add these to my collection as well. This one was kind of a sob story for me, because this is the very rare black belt storage shell Michelangelo figure. The original releases of the storage shell turtles, their belts are the same color as their bandana. So Mikey would have an orange belt, Dawn a purple one, etc. they re-released the Storage Shell Turtles in around '94, I believe, with black belts, and then they also had different colored weapons. And they're actually pretty collectible by the Ninja Turtle fans. And unfortunately, I could not find his shell. I dug and dug in probably 5 or 6 boxes and bins at this guy's lot at the flea market, and I could not find that shell. My daughter was even looking for me as well. We just couldn't find it. But, you know, someday I'll probably find the shell, or maybe even a complete one someday. But for now, this rare black belt Storage Shell Turtle without his shell will go in my collection. And if you recall, in the late 80s, there was a lot of claymation going on. This animation pioneer, Will Vinton, created the California Raisins, which were his most popular creation. But then he also did the Noid, which was the mascot for Domino's Pizza in the late 80s.
It's your call. You can enjoy the fresh baked quality from Domino's Pizza, or take your chances with the Noid. You can have pizza made to your order, or you can count on our famous 30-minute delivery, or you can taste the quality from Domino's Pizza, so avoid the Noid. Domino's Pizza delivers. Call now.
They also even had a Nintendo game about the Noid character. This is a bendy window cling. You can see the suction cups there on the figure. This is from 1989. And just, you know, a great time period piece of when you had these advertising mascots like this. Almost like, you know, the Geico Gecko right now. Well, Domino's had the Noid, and their slogan was "Avoid the Noid," because he was always looking for the pizza. Then I found this guy. He is called Raidy from Arco's Otherworld line. I just saw him laying there, and I looked at the date on the back there. You probably can't see it, maybe you can. But I knew he was a part of some action figure line, obscure line, and I did a little research, and yes, he's actually a part of the Otherworld series. So I don't have any of these in my collection, so now I do. Then I found this Robotech Master figure from the Robotech line in 1985-86 time frame. These figures were by Matchbox, and you can see he's in pretty good shape. And this guy actually didn't come with any accessories, so he's actually complete. So bonus for me. And this here is Sir Gawain from Legends of Knights and Dragons. And that series is by a toy company called Imperial from 1992. Now, this by no means got big or anything like that, but you can see his visor actually still works and is still attached to the figure, miraculously. I don't really know much about this toy line, other than there were knights and dragons and things like that. So, but I saw the date on him, and I figured I'd give it a shot, especially for as cheap as I was finding these figures. Then I found this Haggar the Witch from the original Voltron series. This is by a company called Panosh Place that did these original figures. And this is the evil witch from the cartoon series. I don't have a lot of Voltron figures in my collection. It's just not a primary concern for me. But if I find them cheap, obviously I'll pick them up. And here is Turbo Tutone from the C.O.P.S and Crooks toy line and cartoon series.
The case of the big bank job. Big Boss and his gang of crooks were escaping in the roadster, but hot on the tail was Officer Highway on that cop cycle, and he wasn't letting this bunch of crooks get away. C.O.P.S and Crooks, vehicles and figures sold separately.
He did not come packaged individually. He came with a roadster vehicle, and you know, he had some handguns that went in there too that are missing. But this is my very first C.O.P.S and Crooks figure. I know it's kind of a popular line for us 80s kids to collect, but I just haven't found any. And again, he's in decent shape and kind of a cool figure. I actually remember watching the cartoon as a kid. I actually have the whole DVD series. So I was happy to find him even though he didn't have his vehicle. Then I found a lot of 3 advanced Dungeons & Dragons figures. Of course missing their accessories and their cloaks, but again, not a line that I primarily collect, so I actually had to do a little bit of research and figure out who these guys are, other than Warduke here.
Open the world of advanced Dungeons & Dragons action figures. Strongheart, Bronze Dragon, Warduke, Nightmare. Discover a world of mystery and magic.
Stand back, Strongheart. You shall never have this treasure.
Evil is no match for good until he meets again.
Advanced Dungeons & Dragons action figures from LJN. Pure magic.
I knew Warduke was, the villain of the series, to my knowledge, and this is by LJN back in the 1983-84 time frame. This toy line was released, and he's in pretty good shape. And here is Paralay, the elf. He came with a lot of different accessories, and I know he came with a cape and different things, but paint-wise, he's in good shape. Can't believe how tiny this guy is. He's almost about the size of a Dino Riders figure, I would say. And here is Ringlerun. He came with a complete cloak that covered his body. So this is just the bare bones figure of this one. So again, here's some advanced Dungeons & Dragons figures to add to the collection. The right stuff. Can you believe it? I found this lot of New Kids on the Block figures, or dolls to some of you people, and I could not believe that they had all 5 of the concert series dolls and all 5 of their street clothes versions, as well as the stage.
It's the New Kids on the Block. Joseph, Jonathan, Jordan, Donnie, and Danny. Who's their #1 fan?
I'm the #1 fan. I've got all 5 concert kits with all 5 personal interview cassettes. I am. I've got all 5 concert kits with their cassettes and the New Kids stage, plus all 5 kids in their street clothes. I'm the #1 fan. I've got all the kids, their stage, and the New Kids on the Block phone.
The New Kids on the Block. Who's their #1 fan?
I am.
New Kids on the Block concert kits come with cassette, stage, hanging loose kits, and accessories sold separately.
So here is Joey, Jordan, there's Danny, Jonathan, and Donnie. These are the concert dolls that are supposed to be with the stage. And then they had the hanging loose New Kids. There's Jordan in his street clothes, and Jonathan, Danny, and then funny, he has Danny's gym on his sweatshirt and that rat tail there. Donnie, he also has that rat tail. And then Joey. Joey was my sister's favorite. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, why is this dude buying New Kids on the Block figures? Well, again, 1989, I was 9 years old and New Kids were all over the place. Paula Abdul was on the radio. And my sister was 3 years older than me, loved the New Kids. So it was just a part of my childhood. So I have fond memories of these guys. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I'll have them on my 80s mixes and things like that. So I found these. And again, I found the stage too. Here's the stage. I took it all out. My daughter helped me put it together. And it's, for the most part, complete. It's only missing a few little pieces to hold the pictures in place on the back. But yeah, this was just laying there on a table, and I showed interest in the stage, and the guy said, well, I have these dolls too. So I bought the whole lot at the flea market. And what was great, my daughter was with me, and so he asked, well, are you doing this to collect? Or are you doing it for her? I was like, well, for her, of course. So I ended up getting a better price for it in the long run. So you know, sometimes it pays to have, you know, a cute little 9-year-old daughter with you. So, anyway. So those are my finds over the last few weeks at the Toyhio Toy Show and several weeks at the flea markets that we frequent. Look, I just love going out there and hunting, and you just never know what you're going to come back with. And it's so great. My daughter's starting to come with me, and we find all sorts of great things, and she usually finds a Barbie or two, something to pick up for her collection. So it's just great getting out there again and talking with everybody, meeting fellow collectors and vendors, and you just, you know, everybody has a story, and it makes this hobby interesting. Hit that like button if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at ReeYees Retro Toys for all of your toy hunting and vintage toy needs. Thank you for watching, and keep on hunting.